1:30 and we are going to call to order the Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll begin with the Salary Board first. If you could do a roll call, please, Lauren.
Absolutely. Commissioner Nieder.
I am here.
Commissioner Fasci.
I'm here.
Commissioner Eichelberger.
Present.
Controller Best. Here.
This is the point on the agenda where we open it up to public comment. If there's any public comment to be made, I think we have some folks in the room. I don't know if anyone is here for public comment at this time. Lauren, are we showing anyone online? Nope. We will move into the approval of the meeting minutes from the January 14th Salary Board meeting. Someone would like to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
A second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next is the approval of the Salary Board actions. If someone would like to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the salary board actions as provided.
A second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any other business to come before the Salary Board at this time? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned from that. We will go into the Board of Commissioners meeting and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. We will now move on to a roll call for the Commissioners meeting. Please, Lauren.
Commissioner Nieder.
I am here.
Commissioner Fasci.
I'm here.
Commissioner Eichelberger.
Present.
Is there anyone in the room interested in making public comment on any non-agenda items in this meeting? Oh, we have someone in the audience.
Hello, how are you,
Fantastic.
commissioners?
Great,
My
thank
name
you.
is- My name is Fogel G. Shemp. I'm running for Congress for this district. I'm just here to listen and see what your concerns are, and if I get elected, I'll be able to help you guys.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And sir?
Should I come up here?
Yes, sure. Just state your name, please.
Sure. My name is Jeff Kaiser. I live in Hampton Township. I am a volunteer with an organization called March on Harrisburg. You've heard of that organization? Okay. So for those of you who don't know, we are a statewide volunteer-driven, nonpartisan, good government group. Our purpose is to get money out of politics and to improve democracy in Pennsylvania. One of the things we are working on our pro-democracy platform is trying to bring ranked choice voting to Pennsylvania. And the reason I'm here is because the bill that we are currently promoting in Harrisburg, if it were to pass, would allow any locality, county, school board to choose ranked choice voting if they want to, but it's not required. So we are here to also mention that we have set up a ranked choice voting education session in Mechanicsburg next month, and invite each of you and anyone else who wants to come to that to learn about ranked choice voting if you're not familiar with it, and to hear about the bill that we're promoting. And I have flyers to distribute if you would be interested.
Thank you, Jeff. If you'd like to leave them, I appreciate your attendance.
Sure.
And
Thank you.
thank you for your comments. Is there anyone in the audience that wanted to make a public comment at this time on a non-agenda item? Hearing none, we will go into, oh, I'm sorry, Lauren, is there anyone online interested? If you are, please use the raise your hand feature if you'd like to make a comment. Nope.
No,
Okay. Very good, thank you. We will then go into what I always say is the absolute best part of our meeting, and that is an acknowledgement of a very dedicated employee who has been with us for 30 years, which is just fantastic. And that is Lisa Ryder. Lisa serves as the Director of Fiscal Operations for Cumberland County Children and Youth Services. She transferred to Cumberland County from Lebanon. That was a big win for us in January of 1996 as a fiscal officer. At that time, our children and youth only had 2 fiscal officers. During her 30 years with children and youth, she has helped to develop the fiscal unit, which now has 8 staff. Lisa has helped to automate the agency and goes through many county, state, and federal audits. must feel weekly, Lisa. And through her leadership, many of the audits have had minimal, if any, findings, and the auditors give feedback that our county sets a very high bar. Lisa has an extensive knowledge of the children and youth needs-based budget, which is one of the most complex budgets in our human services areas. She writes, presents, coordinates all of the fiscal needs for the department. There are always changing situations in children and youth, but Lisa can project for the agency's need. And for most years, through her hard work, the agency has been able to secure all of the requested funds. I just want to know where you keep your crystal ball and if we can borrow it for some of the other departments. We appreciate Lisa's commitment to the mission of children and youth and her dedication to Cumberland County, and congratulate you for 30 years. So thank you, Lisa. You can come on up.
Do I get a picture of you too?
Yes, come on. And Nikki. So, oh, we have a little bit here. Nikki, I didn't know if you wanted to make any comments at this time.
I will just share. Lisa I've been very lucky for my 11 years now as the administrator. Lisa has been my fiscal director and it does make my job much, much easier. Although she does panic when I walk in her office and say, I have an idea of something I want to spend money on. But she is able to always secure funding and it has really helped us. So she is amazing. She's my right hand all the time. I take her to everything. And I'm pretty sure she can carry a case if I needed her to.
Well, we have a little something for you, so I'll hand that over and then we will do some formal pictures, I think, here.
Can I get everyone to count?
Yes.
We do the half step this way. Yeah.
Okay. We need the X's before then.
Nikki, can you move it just a little? There we go. All right. We're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa, any comments? Oh, I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, last time I was here, we had 36 inches of snow, so.
Your bellwether, your bellwether.
You didn't realize that.
Seems like everything ending in a 6. I started in 96 and there was a big storm and it took out the bridge in Harrisburg.
Oh,
Yeah. 2016, there was a big storm and now another
Well,
big storm.
10 more years.
We'll see.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, everybody, watch your eyes, okay?
And I know you guys are, have other things to accomplish in your area.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that takes us to the consent agenda and I'll turn it over to Chief Clerk Stacy Smith.
You, Commissioner. So the consent agenda is a list of routine items. They do not appear to be controversial in nature and do not appear to require any discussion. If anybody would like to discuss agenda items 5 through 9 now, my goodness, I cannot speak today. 5 through 9, now would be the time to make that request. Hearing none, seeing none, commissioners, I would request.
I move to approve. I'll second.
I'll second it. Is it 5 through 9 or 5 through 10? I'm looking at an old version.
Yes.
Yeah, it's version 2. It's 5 through 9.
Okay. All right. A second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye.
Thank you, commissioners. That takes us to the regular agenda, which is a list of non-routine items that we discussed and may be acted upon individually. And we'll start with agenda item 10. We have Peter right here to discuss and seek approval for resolution 2026-03 regarding issuing a tech credit.
Good afternoon. Thanks again for entertaining us this afternoon. We were here in December, so it's kind of like a repeat there. Jared Leo, this Chief Financial Officer with the Messiah, is here for any questions. The Cumberland County Authority approved this financing, and we had a TEFRA hearing that was sparsely attended, no one, with no public comments. So if you have any questions, but the resolution is before you for financing with Messiah.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
And I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
very
great work
much.
you do at Messiah.
Thank you.
You don't mind if we excuse?
Not at
ourselves?
all. Thank you very much for coming.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
I'll be trying to be here 10 years to see the snowstorm.
Okay, thank you, commissioners. The next two agenda items are regarding cooperation agreements. We have Greg Welker and Janet Anderson online. I believe Greg is going to discuss, but they might both kind of have some comments. I'll turn it over to them. I would just like to note that while you may want to discuss both of these agenda items at one time, they will need to be acted upon one by one. So Greg, Janet.
Yeah, I apologize. For some reason, when I log into Zoom, it says I'm Janet. It's just me. I
Oh,
don't
just
think-
Greg. Okay.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
thank
no
you.
worries. No worries.
Thank you. So before you, we have two of our tri-party cooperation agreements. These are two projects that receive funding through Cumberland County Industrial Development Authority line items through the Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program. As we've done in the past, these agreements are prerequisites to receiving reimbursement. These two projects are both underway. The Gettysburg Road Investors is using the funds to construct an access point and site work for a multi-tenant business park. The Pacifica Mechanicsburg LLC project is the phase 2 site work. You may recognize it better as the BJ's Plaza on the Carlisle Pike. So we have put forth both of these agreements to you. Again, just a recap on what's included is this is a required agreement from the Office of the Budget to guarantee any funds that are dispersed. I will remind everyone that to date, I'm not aware of any instances of funds being dispersed and having to be recalled. But if such an instance should occur, the county, as the taxing body, is guaranteeing the funds and passing the buck, if you will, to the sub-grantees, Gettysburg Road Investors LLC and Pacifica Mechanicsburg LLC, to make the county whole should those funds be recalled.
Thank you, Greg. Does anyone have any questions in relation to these two action items? It's item number 11 and item number 12.
I do not, and I will start with agenda item 11. I will move to approve the cooperation agreements among Cumberland County, CCIDA, and Gettysburg Road Investors LLC with respect to ineligible expenditures to construct an access point and initiate site work for the multi-tenant business park.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have the cooperation agreement for Pacifica.
So I'm going to move on agenda item 12, which is moving to approve the cooperation agreement among Cumberland County, CCIDA, and Pacifica Mechanicsburg LLC with respect to ineligible expenditures to undertake a redevelopment project comprising of phase 2 site work.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. Thanks so much, Greg.
Thank you.
That takes us into agenda item 13. We have Justin Miller online to discuss and seek approval for a tire collection and recycling event. Justin.
Good morning or good afternoon. What an afternoon meeting. Good afternoon. So as you're aware, we have done tire collection events for the past few years. Last year we did 2, a spring and a fall. We'd like to replicate that again in 2026. So we're proposing an event on Friday, May 15th, and an event on Friday, September 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pre-registration will be required. We want to keep the fee at 15 cents a pound. I have historical data to look at. So when you do the math, our costs have been 14 cents a pound. So I think 15 cents is the right number. I'm estimating that both events would cost us a total of $5,550. And your approval would allow me to work with finance to issue purchase orders to the tire recycling company. We would also, I want to mention, we'll work with vector control to promote mosquito habitat reduction. And this will also count towards Keep Cumberland County Beautiful's affiliation requirements.
Sounds good. Does anyone have any questions of Justin at this time?
No questions open for adoption.
Hang on a second. So did you want to talk about the paper shredding event also, Justin?
That's the next.
Okay, all right.
Take them individually.
So there was a motion?
Yes,
I
there's
second.
it's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Justin, but I'm not helping throw tires around. They're very heavy.
Yeah.
But I'll look forward to it happening.
And so Commissioner Fauci's comment takes us right into the
Thank
next
you.
agenda item, which is your discussion and possible a request for the fee structure for the paper shredding event.
Yeah, so this would be a new program for us in 2026. We get calls every once in a while. Do we offer paper shredding? When I did the bid for the internal paper shredding for the county, I included in there a requirement for a 1-day, 4-hour event for public shredding. And the bid on that was $1,100. So we're asking your permission to give this a try here. Proposing Thursday, April 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We do it down at the recycling center. We will do pre-registration, and we're proposing 15 cents again per pound. Data will tell us whether that's a good number as we move along. We're also proposing the first 25 pounds be free, because we know that some like legislators and banks, they offer some shredding events. They typically ask for donations and have a limit. So we wanted to be cognizant of that. That's why we're proposing the first 25 pounds free. I will say some other counties do events. They typically charge by the box, $5 a box. A box may weigh 35 pounds, so 15 cents a pound is $5.25. I think that's a good number, but once we get some data, we'll take a harder look at that.
Any questions for Justin?
Justin, I appreciate you working this into the contract. Thank you. And I hope that people do take advantage of the offer. Thank you.
Do we still have municipalities that are doing paper shredding events?
Yeah, to my knowledge, yeah. Like I believe Hampton was still doing some paper shredding events.
Are we in contact with them to know about any potential for conflict of dates or anything, or what might be an optimized schedule?
Yeah. No, I just chose this date really kind of around Earth Day. I did not look at other dates. It's a good question though, Gary.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know, would a township welcome people outside of the township utilizing that service? I know when the representatives host those events, it's generally anybody within their footprint of their district, but I'm not certain on municipalities. So
I believe the banks typically do it on a weekend as well. And we're proposing a weekday.
I'll give it a try. I appreciate you making that effort. Thank you. Any other questions of Justin? None. We'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Justin. Thank you, commissioners. That takes us to the contracts and grants portion of the agenda, and I'll ask Angela Spicer to cover this agenda items.
Thanks, Stacy. Good afternoon, everybody. Agenda item 15, I will call on Darby Crystal to discuss a grant acceptance for a population.
Good afternoon, commissioners. This is our annual grant and aid reimbursement that we get from PCCD. Now it is $5,000 less than the previous year. I don't know if you recall, a few years back, I talked about they changed in the funding formula, and that is a result of those changes in the funding formula. Apparently we are, instead of making the changes all in 1 year, they've spread it out over 4 years. So we are at the halfway point of our changes. So we got a couple more years to endure.
Well, Darby, if that's as bad as it gets on some of the, that's not the, as much of a hardship as it could otherwise be, I would think. So.
Well, to end on a good note, and I was talking to Commissioner Flashy as we were coming in, there is $22 million earmarked for county probation in Harrisburg from the Justice Reinvestment Act. Some forward thinkers adopted evidence-based practices at the state level, and the DOC was able to save that type of money. And they're going to decide how that gets distributed over the next few months.
I know you've been a big proponent of evidence-based practices, which we appreciate and are really leading the charge. And for some, other counties have not yet adopted it. Will they allocate it to counties that have specifically been incorporating that into their practices, do you think?
That is, they're having discussions now, but they see the value of that and they see expanding that. And that would be one of the catches. And if you want the money, you're going to have to do some of these things because they see on the backside that there is substantial savings as happened with the DOC.
Thank you. And thank you for leading that charge for us.
You're welcome.
I will move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Darby. Thanks.
Right, that takes us to agenda item 16, and I will call on Kim Winton to discuss the contracts and grant for aging community services. Good morning, Kim. Good afternoon, Kim.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, commissioners. We just can't get used to this afternoon meeting. Kixiton Home Care, Family Care, Home Health, and Reliable Care provides personal care and home support services to our eligible consumers in our options program. So we're asking for approval for all three of those agencies.
I will move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Right, that takes us to agenda item 17, and I will call on Jamie Ryberg to discuss the contracts for children and youth services. And please note this is split between two pages on today. Hi, Jamie.
Good afternoon. I have 4 brand new contracts for our agency today. The first one is Harmony Heights Housing LLC. That is a group home for adolescent males. Their rate is $652.54 per day. The second one is for Taylor and Taylor Group Home LLC. They are a group home for females. They do have 2 levels of care, one at 511 cents per day, and the other one is $508.05 per day. The next one is for York County Juvenile Detention Center for our probation office. Their rate is $1,240.60 per day. This is comparable to other detention centers, and we're also contracting with them because we were previously paying a daily per diem to hold a detention bed, and with contracting with this facility, we are able to drop that bed hold with the other agency. The last one is for the YWCA of Greater Harrisburg. This contract is for visitation services. We do have other visitation services, but this is going to be more easier to access for families that are in the Harrisburg area to hold their visitation with their children. So we are going to start a contract with them. Their rates are comparable to our other visitation services that we contract with already. Any questions?
Jamie, I'm sorry, could you repeat the rate on the York County? I thought I saw a different rate on my document.
$1,240.60.
Nope, that's right. Thank you. I just must have misheard. Thank you. So I don't have any questions. Does anyone have any other questions?
I don't have any questions, but I think Jamie's really good if we can stop that bed hold.
Yep.
Somewhere else. I think this is a really good development with York County.
Yes.
And I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
That takes us to agenda item 18, and I will call on Erin Gardner to discuss a grant acceptance for criminal justice services. Good afternoon, Erin.
Good afternoon. We received notice that Highmark plans to grant us $2,500 for the criminal justice social worker to use for clients when they need support for transportation, medical care, or any other social determinants of health. So I'm requesting your permission to accept this grant.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Erin.
Takes us to agenda item 19, and I will call on Bob DeGrossa to discuss a contract for the controller's office. Good afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon, commissioners. This is the final piece of the GRS Corn Ferry assignment. In summer of last year, Corn Ferry gave notice that they were no longer dealing with county pension plans. And as the retirement board knows, we in the end assigned the Corn Ferry actuarial agreement to GRS as our successor actuary firm. What is before you today for approval, for the board's approval, is the GRS assignment of Corn Ferry's OPEB actuary services. This agreement with Corn Ferry was signed in spring of last year. It was a 2-year agreement for $12,000 for the OPEB piece, which is a board of commissioner piece, not a retirement board piece. And working with Solicitor Brenneman, we constructed the assignment agreement with GRS to accomplish this as well. That is what's before you today for approval. Can I answer any questions?
Bob, I know I had asked some questions surrounding our OPEB plan, and I would like to bring that back to the board for some discussion and evaluation if it's something that we want to continue, as well as you know, this will run through the end of this year, so we'll hopefully be able to get that on the calendar prior to the end of this contract. So please be prepared. We'll have that conversation at some point. Thank you.
Sure.
Yes. Retirement, correct?
No, this is actually OPEB, which is
And we're not, okay, so we
Yes,
want to
the
bring
board.
that before this board.
This board, not retirement board. Correct. So
I will move to approve.
Second.
it's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Bob. That takes us to agenda item 19. I apologize, agenda item 20, and I will call on Brent Durham to discuss a grant acceptance for facilities. Good afternoon, Brent.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you recall, we applied for a DCED Greenways Trails Recreation Program grant back in May of last year. The grant is to support the building of a trail around our public safety facility. The trail will connect the Cumberland County Law Enforcement Memorial, Cumberland County Volunteer Firefighters Association, excuse me, First Responder Memorial, and it will connect to a pavilion and sidewalk that's used by the residents of Cumberland Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. Now, I don't want to disclose everything that we have planned for this trail, but there will be some historical markers, some benches for resting, some native plantings, bluebird boxes, and some other really cool things that I think the public will enjoy. This project does align with the Plan for People and Places principle that's in the county's comprehensive plan by highlighting and preserving county's history, stewarding natural resources, and providing facilities for physical and mental well-being of residents, as well as our own employees that work in that area that have, the emotionally challenging jobs. And this really is the first step in a much larger vision that we have. We're hoping that once this trail's underway, that we're hoping to find some other funds, maybe some other partners, so that maybe we can connect this trail to Army Heritage Center, maybe to the golf course trail, and that could lead to further really very viable trail extension opportunities. So our original estimate for this trail was $102,500. Our grant application was in the amount of $64,000 and some change. And we were planning to use the Brenneman Trust to cover the remaining amount. This grant award is in the amount of $40,000, so we have a gap of around $24,000 to $25,000. We have met with Stacy Williams, and we're hoping to bridge that gap by applying for land partnership grant funds. I'm happy to answer any questions and would ask for your approval to accept the $40,000 DECD Greenways Trails and Recreation Program grant.
That is, yes.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you,
Thank
Brent.
you.
Takes us to agenda item 21, and I will call on Kirk Stoner to discuss the contracts for liquid fuels finance. Good afternoon, Kirk.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm smiling because I just heard our facilities director quote the Cumberland County Comprehensive Plan. So it is a good day. Well done, Brent. So thank you. I have a few items here for liquid fuels finance. The first is Mount Holly Springs Borough. This is our small bridge program grant that we discussed 2 weeks ago. They filed their contract documents and our MS 339 form, which enables us to spend our $5 registration fee on the project. Do you want to do all these, Keith? Can we do all these together, or do we need to do them one by one?
Better do them one by one.
Okay. Did you want the explanations from Kirk all in one fell swoop, or do we want to have him explain them and take action each time?
It's your choice at this point.
But agenda item 21, we can have one motion.
You can do one motion.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Kirk. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that's the first one. The second two then are related. So Quarry Road Bridge and then our Cumberland County Bridge Bundle. These are TIP-supported projects that we pursued in 2024 in partnership with our municipalities. So we're receiving funding from the feds, as feds in the state, 80% federal, 15% state, 5% local, that we're sharing Cumberland County funds with municipal funds to do these projects. Over the course of 2025, we did scoping field views with some small funding from PennDOT that allow us to understand the scope and scale of each of the projects. With that work now complete, we've settled in on actual costs for the engineering phases of both of these projects. So for the Quarry Road Bridge, that's in Cook Township. The final cost of that is $297,000. The local match on that one actually is being provided by DCNR, as that project is located within the state park. So that local match is provided to them. The other 3-bridge bundle includes a bridge in South Middleton Township on Ladner Lane, one in Silver Spring Township Village Road, and a final one in Lower Frankfort Township of Wildwood Road Bridge. The contract total for them will be $712,809 to complete engineering for those 3 bridges.
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Kirk. Kirk actually has our next agenda item as well, which is regarding bid results, and I'll turn it back over to you, Kirk.
Sure. So commissioners, as you're aware, we opened bid results for the Bishop Bridge demolition project. There's a permitting issue, so we're unable to accept those bids. We're looking to reject the bids at this time. Quick update, we are still working with PHMC to move forward with the demolition permit while concurrently working with Upper Allen Township to determine their interest in owning the bridge. So we have kind of 2 paths going parallel to make sure that this issue, which has gone on since 2014, can be hopefully rectified this year.
I will move to reject all bids on the Bishop Bridge demolition project.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, thank you, Kirk.
Thanks.
Right, that takes us to agenda item 23, and I will call on Claudia Gardner to discuss it. None of us can speak today, Stacy. To discuss a donation acceptance for public safety. Good afternoon, Claudia.
Good afternoon, everybody. Public Safety is asking for your approval, pre-approval that is, for Motorola Solutions to come in on February 17th, the day that our P25 public radio system goes live. Motorola is going to come in to help with that switchover, and there'll be lots of extra staffing of both our staff, Motorola, and it's going to be a long process, and they would like to come in and provide meals for everyone that is working on that shift, as well as coming in that evening and the next day, because it'll be a brand new team starting the next day. So they'd like to provide meals for our shifts that are working so that we can reduce our amount of stress maybe by having some full bellies. The original estimate on the agenda was for $300 because it was initially thought provide meals for the time of the switchover. But given that they're going to be on site throughout the day and evening and the next day, they'd like to provide for all 4 shifts. So their current estimate is $3,000 actually instead of $300. So we're just asking for your approval for Motorola. And we did talk to Keith about that as well. Changing the amount, he said just to verbally share that with you today.
To
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Claudia she will also be discussing a grant acceptance for public safety.
Yeah, we're just bringing money to the table today, which is a good day. All right, so public safety is asking for you to make a motion to accept a grant agreement from PEMA. This will be for the fiscal year 25-26 Hazardous Materials Response Fund, known as HMRF grant. Our award amount is $22,746, and that's based on the amount that is available at PEMA, and they disperse it to each of the counties that make application based on a formula, as well as our hazmat assessment that we do annually and that you approve. So they take all of that into account, and our award amount is $22,746. This grant period of performance is July of 25 through June of 26. And it's $446 less than last year's grant agreement, but that's because of all the various factors that go into it. And then we use this money for the planning. All right, it's contagious. I can't talk today. Planning, training, and response efforts for our hazmat program and hazmat team to offset any of those expenses. So, and it is in the ESA system. So given that you will likely approve that today, I'll go in as the reviewer, hit a button, and then that will trigger your electronic request for approval.
Thank you, Claudia. Any other questions?
No, I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. That concludes the contract and grant portion of the agenda.
Thank you. And we have agenda item 25. Bob Shively has joined us to discuss a capital project request on behalf of the Sheriff's Office of the prison. Bob.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We're requesting your approval of a capital project for the purchase of additional Motorola radios for the prison and sheriff's office. This will complete the replacement of all of their current radios for the transition to the new radio system. With the county grant funding still available, the purchase of new radios instead of spending money for upgrading a portion of their radios, which are approaching an end of life, seem to be a better investment with that funding instead of replacing those in a couple years. The total project cost is $240,000.
Any questions for Bob?
I do not have any. No,
I move to approve.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Commissioners. That takes us then to agenda item 26, Commissioners' Liaison Reports. And Commissioner Meaher, we'll start with you.
Yes, so it was a busy couple of weeks. Things were back in the swing into 2026. And I have a couple of thank yous that I want to do shout outs. And my first one is to the absolute best mucker in the feed show, the feed scurry at the PA Farm Show. I had a gentleman from CV's FFA a student group, Colton Clayball, and he was tremendous. And the only reason we were able to have any success in this event, because I did horribly and he saved me by being very speedy in his job. And I wanted to do a shout out as well to Monroe Township. They had a rescue event, approximately 4 hours the other evening, and it was extracting an injured hiker, and that took an incredible group effort. It was the Monroe Fire Company, the Cumberland Goodwill EMS, and our Public Safety Department, the Maryland State Police, and crews from across fire companies across the county that rotated in and out to make that a safe extraction of that injured hiker in very, very frigid, cold weather. And we just want to say, as a board, a word of thank you to everyone that was involved in making that happen. Last week, Commissioner Fauci and I attended the Carlisle Area Leo Club Charter Night. That is a youth Lions Club that is being formed. And it was exciting to see that. The students being interested in doing good work and community service. So that was kicked off. Commissioner Fauci and I also attended a tour of Diacon at their new location in Mechanicsburg. They do tremendous work, and they work with us on many programs to provide some fantastic services for mental health and across the board housing. It was interesting to find that they're very interested in affordable housing as well. I attended the treatment court commencement, and that is, everyone has said here at different times, very powerful, and seeing people's lives changed by good support and work through their managing their addiction. I participated in Tri-County Community Action Planning meeting for our Women and Children event that will be held near Mother's Day. And I attended the CapCog dinner as well. And I think, Gary, you came a bit later into the evening, and it was a well-attended event as usual. I attended the Cumberland County Planning Commission meeting, and I think you all have access to those, to that information. It was a reorg time, and George Tyson is now the chairman of that group, and Kelly Palmer is the vice chairman. There were two contentious items on the agenda. It was the Middlesex Township proposed zoning map amendment and the Southampton Township proposed zoning map amendment, both to add parcels for a data center overlay. I removed myself from the one discussion on Middlesex, had it being a resident there, but did return for the Southampton Township. And I think most of that is playing out in the local news. Articles have been frequent on both of those, and our planning commission is so thoughtful and really rendered. Never fails. The planning commission does such great work, and the planning group and the planning team have provided really thoughtful feedback, and it is being heeded, I believe, by both municipalities on to how they should advance that going forward. And I attended the KDIC board meeting. This morning, I also attended the KDIC launch of the Coffee and Chocolate Trail at at the coffee shop called King and Saint in Shippensburg. And it's a really wonderful coffee shop that I would have never known existed. It's a little bit tucked away, but a beautiful, beautiful facility. And it was a well-attended event. I know you both get the information on the KDIC board meeting packet, but the one notable change that I'm finding in the meetings is that the committees are providing really fantastic updates to the board, rec, the organizational development and tourism, et cetera. They also shared a draft board commitment document for review. I did follow up with a few questions, but I wanted to just make sure you were both aware. It appears that board meetings will be changing in the future, preferably in person and at 8 a.m. at their location. That should be happening within the next couple of months. But I encourage you to both review it at your leisure. And last but not least, I will say I would like to invite everyone tomorrow, if you are not busy, to attend our at 1 o'clock at our historic courthouse. We are kicking off America 250 with an event. And while you're there, you can take a look at our beautiful bell, which was graciously sponsored by KDIC out in Veterans Courtyard, and our beautiful bunting that is a nod to history here in Cumberland County and looks great on the facility. So I know that was a lot, but thank you all very much for your patience. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Fauci.
Well, good afternoon, Cumberland County. I would, as always, remind you to use the Cumberland County Library System. The Housing and Redevelopment Authority met a week and a half ago, and I would remind everyone that they have put out an open call for new board members. So if you're interested in being on that board, please go through that application process. Commissioner Nieder mentioned our tour of Diacon House. I attended the Mechanicsburg Chamber annual dinner and membership meeting, and that was a very nice meeting, and I really enjoyed. There was a representative there from B&O Railroad. Talked about the history of the railroad in the United States and what that has meant to the way our country has been formed, and that was really great. I sit on the State County Records Committee. That group met this week. There are changes to the State County Records manuals, so they are on PHMC's website. They will be distributed
I'm going to get that group connected to CCAP, to the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania, so that that information is going out to counties, because there's a lot of important changes there. Later this year, there will be changes to the electronic records manual, so those will be coming. Last night, I attended the Carlisle Chamber, their 2026 elected officials reception at the Carlisle Country Club. This morning, I was at the Capitol, the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. I'm on their board of directors. The board met there this morning, and we went out and lobbied on some of the priorities for CCAP. Lots of good discussions about 911 funding and the need for a $2.20 surcharge moving forward, as well as the need for mental health funding. I attended the Planning Commission meeting that Commissioner Nieder spoke about, and there were so many members of the public at that meeting, and they were all well thought out and well spoken in terms of data centers moving into this county. Every single one of them was well informed. The things that they had to say I thought were important and need to be listened to. And this week, Cumberland County did celebrate its 276th birthday. Thank you for that post, Samantha and Ben. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Commissioner. Commissioner Eichelberger.
Okay, employee items. We have the Mental Health Advisory Committee did meet after prior meeting, day after. So we've covered a lot of ground. I'll just give you some highlights. Some of this has been discussed before, but it's very much the forefront of what they're doing. Let's see, we had a crisis intervention team earlier in the month assisted in providing training to the 911 team, something for a number of years now. They trained a total of 18 dispatchers, and the next 40-hour CIT course is scheduled for May 18th through 22nd. It's already full. So that's an important opportunity for us to get the message of better ways to handle incidents involving those in distress in front of those who are on the forefront of doing so, so that we have better information, better responses to the incidents that happen in our communities and will continue to happen. So we've put a lot of priority on that. That continues to go well. Of course, the advisory committee also welcomed Annie Euler to the MH staff. She's Robert Tolan's replacement. Robert, of course, undertook a well-deserved retirement here recently, and we honored her. Annie was welcomed by the group. We also took a tour of the facility. Of course, the building is being substantially changed around to welcome the Office of Aging offices that are going to be consolidated there. So that was pretty interesting to see all the work that's being done there by our people and the quality of the work as well. And that is the one thing about Office of Aging, as well as their board meeting, I think I mentioned before, was canceled because they're up to their eyeballs and getting packed and relocated. So lots going on for them, just to make sure they have good workspace. So they mentioned the Criminal Justice Advisory Board assistance on the proposed sequential intercept mapping project that's underway to get a better overview of service needs across the county. The last one of those was done in 2014. So happy to have those that underway, and a little bit of Q&A on that from the advisory committee. So they're very interested in that. The LTSR priority, the long-term structured residence initiative that's underway is going to be, believe it or not, going to beginning its construction phase in the not too distant future, beginning of March. March, of course, is that far away. Hopefully the ground's going to be thawed some, so they can actually make some real progress. Let's see, the Human Services Block Grant, of course, we signed off on applying for that approval, and Department of Human Services has approved both Cumberland and Perry County's block grant plans. And also the department is working, of course, with Holy Spirit and Connections to compile the crisis data for calendar year 2025 per request made by the commissioners previously on reviewing progress on that front. So number of other lesser items there. I'll just skip those in the interest of time. Also have for Solid Waste Advisory Council is next week from today. That is a rescheduled meeting. And as you heard earlier from Justin Miller, they are scheduling the newest recycling events for the year. And we'll be reporting back on those. That continues to be an area of great interest by the public. Project Search on the IDD side is, we've begun the second rotation for the current class, but they are always on the search for additional interns who can enroll in that. Drug and alcohol, our department is now working with Project Search, and the Big Spring Senior Center has returned to taking interns. They had laid off quite a while back, and they're back to doing that. So we look forward to seeing the continued success with Project Search. I did have something from work that I just wanted to mention. Mentioned that and mentioned that. So that's all at IDD. Just on the community side, also attended the Mechanicsburg Chamber event along with some of our fine folks from CADIC who are there to support our chambers as they always have been. So as Commissioner Fashi stated, we had a great speaker from the Railroad Museum in Baltimore. They're undergoing a massive renovation, and it's probably been 30 years since I've been there, but it was a great museum before. I'm sure it's going to be better now, but that was a very educational session. One of the better speakers that we've had in a while, frankly. Also, the COG event, which was more than just a dinner, was actually their annual meeting. I was privileged to be there for the meeting. Didn't eat dinner, but pleased to be there. COG, of course, is the original regional cooperation organization in this area, and they did their annual recognition of a local government professional, and I was honored to be there as a previous recipient myself. I've always want to be there when they honor their newest honoree and select their newest honoree, and it was Rhonda Lugo Campbell, who is the program director for the organization. So well deserved there. Rhonda's a real gem for the organization. So our congratulations to Rhonda and wishes for continued success with council developments. There's so many things they help on, and probably many more they can continue to help on or expand into as local governance changes over the next few years, especially. So I think I'm going to leave it at that.
Excuse me, I did forget one item, and I regret that I wasn't able to be at the Mechanicsburg dinner, but unfortunately had a medical emergency that I had to be a part of. And the one thing I neglected to mention was that in that rescue event, the way that they found the individual in the mountain was because he had an application called What 3 Words? And it's what the numeric 3 words is the app. And I have been insisting that everyone in my family now download this, but it is a grid. And I don't know if you were familiar with this before, across the world that maps a grid of 3 meter by 3 meter. And it will send you wherever you are. Every grid has 3 unusual words, and you can forward that to an emergency responder, and it will direct them to that exact location. So I was so blown away by that application. It's free. If you go into the woods hiking, you may run out of cell signal. I don't know, but hopefully not. And this would, I probably think it probably saved his life in the cold and frigid temperatures. So just a little bit of a safety tip from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Eichenberger, as well. Okay, that takes us then to agenda item 27, which is report of executive sessions. And I would like to report that on January 21, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. we had an executive session regarding personnel. I now ask if there is any other business to come before the board today. Hearing none, seeing none, we are adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.